simple, very easy to wear, very neutral and basic, not even anything drastic on the eyes, just very bare looking with a color on the lips. That's what I'm looking to do. And actually, I don't really truly know how I want to do it. I just know what I want. So I thought just go live and do it with you guys. All right, I'm going to start with the Plush Prep Mist. One of these days, I won't back up the spray. I should always expect it. I want this to be, let's see, almost like I have sun on the face without looking like different, because I don't lay in the sun or anything. I don't even use self tanner, but I want to look like I have that summer warmth. And I'm going to try not even to do cheek color, which is, I usually never go without cheek color, but I don't know. We're just going to wing it. I'm going to use the wash brush. I'm going to use very small brushes as well. I actually have two different palettes here. This is my pressed pigments with some cream correctors, and this is more of cream where I have some lip and cheeks and two contours here with some cream correctors. So I'm going to do a combo of both. I'm going to use Auburn and the wash brush just a little bit. We always want to get makeup on the end of the bristles, not all in the brush. And I want to use Auburn in large areas around the perimeter. And I'm only using the ends of the brush to give a little bit of color here. So if you have, I do have a little more pigmentation on this side, so I may end up hitting some of it and making it a little warmer and having too much color on it than I would like, but I can tone that down. But I just want this to be an easy, breezy, neutral, I don't even know the words I'm looking for. Okay, that's a little warmth on there. You see that? Just a little bit. I think here on the sides of my face, I'm going to go with Auburn 2, the cream. And do you see how this is where the cheek, is hollow and this protrudes out? I don't need any kind of help with contour because this is hollow, but this makes it too white, too light colored. So, and also this is where the sun is going to hit. So I want a little warmth there, and I'm going to use the Auburn. I've got the windows open, so you're going to hear big trucks go by. Not semi trucks, just regular out in the country, big old trucks. Okay, same thing here. Okay. I really like that. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm really just playing this out here with you guys. Okay, now I'm going to use a small end of this brush. See how it's kind of pale here, and then like down here on the neck is very common to be kind of pale. I'm going to use 05 cream corrector. Again, you just want it on the ends of your bristles. You don't try to work it in your brush. Okay, there's a fly. It's a big old fly. And all I'm doing is adding a little bit of warmth. And do you see how that's very shadowed? So that's very blue, but do you see how now it's nice and warm with that orange over top of that hollow ashy shadow? It warms it up. I don't need a cooler contour. I don't contour traditional methods. I don't even do it on women in person. I find it's extremely noticeable in person, and use your natural contours that you naturally have anyway. I feel like it is going to give you more benefit. This, see how that's just a lot warmer and softer and seems a little more toned. So you really just want only at the ends of your bristles. And this one is not as hollow as this side. So I'm only hitting where it's shadowed. See how it's very light right here? But there's a little patch of like pigment there. It's a lot less than it used to be. Just a little bit of warmth. Now I want to do that exact same thing down here on my neck. Now I'm thinking. So I think I'm going to use that orange on my chin here. Do you see how, when I say orange, I mean 05. So you see it's like red, and then here you see those little light areas. Just want to warm it up where it's kind of pasty. Just using the ends of the bristles only. See, that's a lot more even tone. Love it. Okay, top of the mouth. Just right in there. Gypsy hears kids playing. Gypsy, back up. Don't step on my makeup, please. Sitting in the floor in the bedroom. Okay, I like that. All right, now, so far I've only used Auburn and the 05, and I'm marking that. Now I'm going to put that 05 on my eyeliner because I really don't want any eye color. I just might want to. So I'm using the little point brush and putting 05 right on that dark eyeliner. And what this is going to do is tone it down. A little bit and make it more warm, which I want. I want it more like a brown. I'm holding Gypsy. Making sure she doesn't step on my palette. She's right here next to me. Do you see her? Gypsy, say hello. And right here, just like so. Oh, I wish I had this all the time and not this. But it's okay. We live and we learn. Sometimes choices we made don't disappear. But I really wish I didn't have them. Let's apply. I see a red spot in my... It's not completely erased, but it's definitely a lot warmer. And this is what I want. I want it a little warmer, more neutral. Okay, I'm liking that. Now I want to use the Cowboy pressed pigment in small areas underneath the eyes, around the nose, and like right in here in this area of the cheek. And the reason I want to use the pressed pigment and not the Auburn is the pressed pigment is going to be more concentrated, more saturated, and I just need little dots of the color. So I'm going to use a very small brush, and preferably not the one I just got through using. Let me get a different one. Here we go. This is one I use. So I just really want a little bit of depth of color. See that right pointing? I don't know what she sees. Who knows? I hope nobody's showing up at the house, and here I am. in those light little spots there, I want a little bit of cowboy. And you just touch it. Feel like I got too much. You just tap it. It's almost like I'm creating pigment where I don't have any. Okay, I really like that. I don't know what she's sparking at. Do you see that? See how that just looks more toned and even? And all I did is just little dots of color. We'll get even closer. Do you see that right in there? Just coloring it in. In between these little like red areas. Now, as I touch my skin, it will get red. And so you just tap a little. Got too much. Gypsy, did you scare them away? I probably should have closed the windows so you wouldn't be so distracted and noisy. See, that's a lot more even. And all I'm doing is like filling in. Now, if I used a bigger brush, which I've done that before, and the mistake I make using a bigger brush is I go over areas that do not need color to it, and it ends up being splotchy or looks dry looking. So here I'm just using the pressed pigment for those small little areas because it drops in color really quickly. And a little goes a long way. So what's on my brush is still there. You don't have to keep adding. Okay, I really like that. Okay, I'm gonna flip over on this side. Actually, I'm getting a different brush. This side, okay? And I'm gonna use a Lyra. Don't be afraid of it. It's like a blue purple. I love it. Okay, and I want to drop in a little color in those very, see how the cowboy just didn't give me the depth, and see how that, I love it. And what I love about the pressed pigments is you can kind of mix it. So all I'm doing is mimicking like what blood flow would look like underneath the skin. So these areas that are very pale and lacking in color, this will mimic that. So I'm going to do that right here in my cheeks, not over what's red. And what it's going to do where the cheek look splotchy, now will be a lot smoother. See that? Right in there. Okay, I like that. I want to do some of this on my eyelid. You know these, one of the ladies from that wedding party that I shared, and on her eyelids, she had this beautiful, gorgeous, natural violet on her eyelid. Oh, I thought it was beautiful. And we didn't cover it up. We just used it to her advantage. Now I'm going to use this Lyra right in here to create a little bit of depth in that pocket where the skin comes down. We're not going to make the skin disappear. That's impossible. I'm just adding some depth where it's not as noticeable. And I want to use the other brush, oh yeah, Cowboy, right in here. And like I said before, I do have some freckling on there, on the lid. I don't want to look like an eyeshadow look or anything like that. I just want to create shape and sculpt with the color. There we go. Like that. I'm gonna do Cowboy here on the lips, and then I'll do the other eye. And I'm just taking a little bit of this pressed pigment, Gypsy, calm down. I should have closed the windows so she wouldn't get so excited hearing the neighbors. And all I'm doing is these tiny little white spots, adding a little bit of color. Like lining my lips, BM54 lining my lips just looks odd on me. But these little light patches, so you have light and dark, I'm just adding a little bit of color in the light. I could probably have skipped this. It's probably been a little extra. And just put lip color on. Okay. And this side is a little more textured. Gypsy, back up. You're gonna knock my phone over. Back up. Good girl. I know, you're wanting to put your nose to the glass or to the screen. Okay. All right, now I'm going to do this eye as well. This one's a little more textured than this one, but the concept is still the same. I'm adding Cowboy and Lyra. So here's Cowboy. Just in here. Now the reason why I like using the pressed pigments around the eye, and this is the reason why I thought, okay, I'm just going to try this live with you guys, is it stays. It stays right there. It doesn't move. It doesn't shift. And I only have to use very, very little to get what I'm wanting from it. So with the cream, it works as well. You can do this with a cream contour. You can do this with concentrating. You can do this with I've tried eyeshadows, but eyeshadows have a little too much filler and binders in it that it's a little dry, because they're made to like blend and that kind of thing. This is just going to drop in a little bit of color. It's a little trickier on this side. I have this like tendon on this side. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to get Lyra. And what's fun about you can also do this with self-tanner as well. I'm going to turn a different angle. And look, I've got too much. Don't let that deter you. Just blend it a little bit. Yeah, you could do this whole concept with self-tanner. I've done that before. Yeah, this one's a little more I have to take a little more time with this eye over here, but the goal is to make it look just like my skin, and concealer and all of that is extremely noticeable on very textured skin. And foundation. So I want to make it look like I'm not wearing anything, but I need a little help to do that, to make my skin look as I'm good with it, looking like I'm not wearing anything. Okay, now I'm going to add this Lyra to the cheek like I did over here, in between like little red areas. Oh, thank you. Thank you. But I honestly, anyone can do this. How did I learn? Let me tell you, just playing like I am now. Like, I have not attempted this little concept except with you guys. Jumping on here and just playing, not being intimidated by playing with color. Challenge yourself to use tiny brushes. See how that got a lot softer over there? And I'm using this color. Isn't that crazy? But what we're going for is anytime you have like a very light area. I'm laughing at Gypsy because she is crawling under the bed to get to the window. But her butt's too big. She can't get back out. I mean, she can. She just can't get where she wants. It's hilarious. I forgot what I was saying. So this Lyra is mimicking that depth of this. But see, this is too excess. See, that's like broken capillaries and all that. That's excess. But I want that over here where it's pale. You could do this with a red color. You can do this with cheek color. Get your favorite lip and cheek and use a tiny brush and just go around little red splotchy areas that you have. And it's going to make your cheeks look smoother. And you're going to wear less. And the less you have on, the longer it lasts. And the more it looks like your skin. So I'm not going to do any cheek color. I just wanted a little bit of... Okay, I'm fine with that. Now I want to do the nose a little bit. See how uneven tone it is. And I'm going to use the same colors here. I could use the auburn or the cream contour, but I find... my eyes are really red. I just noticed that. I hope I just didn't break these. I didn't. Yay. That would be bad. Hang on a second. Let me put these little tints back in my box or palette. Well, what was I saying? Oh, my eyes look red. I've been outside working and it makes my eyes red. Okay. Oh, the nose. So it's uneven. And I have some light little areas. So I'm going to use the same thing, Lyra and Cowboy. I'm going to do the Lyra first for the super, super light little spots. It's like a spot there. It has no pigment. Right in here. Now I'm going to have some excess color, like right in here. That's a little excess. I'll wait and do that at the end. I want to balance color first, add color first, and then I end up not needing to erase as much as I thought. And I'm just using Lyra pressed pigment, tiny brush, and I'm tapping in color in light spots and skipping over dark. I'm reducing high contrast of light to dark. And I forgot to do this eye like I did over here. So I'm going to grab, let's do Cowboy. Right here in this little pocket. I got too much. Okay. And over here. like little skin there. We're not going to make the skin go away, but I kind of like do different little animations and to make what the skin's going to do. Like typically, like raising my eyebrow. I'm not going to walk around with raised eyebrows. I just want to make different emotions and shapes with my eyes to see how the skin does. And all I want to do is create like an optical illusion that I have a little more depth here and a little fold. Maybe she won't be as noticeable. Maybe. And see that lovely vein? See when I smile in my crow's feet? It creates that ledge on it that catches light. So I just add a little bit of this depth of color on top of that edge, and it softens it a little bit. I'm going to go back to cowboy for the nose. Think of cowboy as like pigment on the skin, like freckling, brown, all of your pigment. And that's what I'm mimicking. See how the nose is, I'm not contouring my nose, doesn't work for me. Did you see how it made a lot more even tone on my nose? And a little straighter just by taking out that light spot there, which made it look like I had a wide part in my nose, which I don't, but that light area made it look like I do. But adding color back onto that little light spot created that look and showed my natural shape of my nose. Okay, so now I feel like I'm done with what I was going to do. Very little color. That's all I've used so far is auburn, this red brown cream in the larger areas, and then I used 05, and then my pressed pigment palette I've used Lyra and Cowboy. I typically do, let's do this. Yeah, I want some brow gel. Everything I'm using is from Seint, even my brushes. I'm going to even use Seint mascara today. That's what I've been using. This is the gel. It's like softer. We also have a wax. It's more like a wax, a hard wax. You'll just plaster them to your forehead. But this is a soft gel. So this, I feel like this works great if you have good brows, plenty of hair, probably if you're under the age of 30 and you have plenty of brows. It's great to use. I have a little bit of hair, not much. It's a little thinner over here, so I'm more hair here, but I like how it dries down and I press it down a little bit. Now I'm going to take the color Cowboy. Again, I could use a cream contour, an eyeshadow. This is just handy, and I'm using the etch brush. So I'm only filling in where it's bare. I'm not going across all of my hair because what's dark would get even darker. So I'm just adding where it's missing a little. Plus I have some gray hair in there, which is fine because letting the gray grow, but I don't think gray brows is, you want something with a little definition. So this will add a little bit of color to that gray without giving like dark. So that matches really well. Okay, now I've done the eyes exactly what I wanted. I want it very neutral. I wanted it very soft. So now I'm going to take another little brush. This is another clean, let me find it. Hang on a second. Point brush. I have 4. There she is. There she is. And then I'll do the lips. So I'm looking, this is going to be my, probably, there, my go-to for summer. I want it very neutral, as if I'm not wearing anything, just a little more warmth on the skin, more balance and tone with a lip color and some mascara. I'm going to subtract some of the excess, but notice how I've let my skin come down from being touched. So what I have touched already is calmed down, it's not red, so now I can really see any of the excess color that I want to address. I'm not looking to erase everything, but just in balance with everything else. So let's start with the chin. You see these little light, super light, little pink areas. They were very red. I could, since I didn't add a whole lot, I just want to take out the excess. I could do, since it's more pink, I'm going to use Y1 and just a little. And I've got too much on my brush, so I'm just going to tap it with my finger. Oh, I hear a dove. So I'm just going to, they're kind of lilac. I just want to soften. I just want to take a little bite out of that purple, and the little brush will help you do that. These don't have a lot of color in them. Add a little bit of a around my chin, a purging on my chin. A couple weeks ago, and my body likes to hold on to the pink for a while. So it's just a lot softer. I learned to just touch and go. Don't spend a lot of time fussing over every bit of it, because like I said a second ago, when you touch, you will get red in that area because you brought oxygen to that area. So really just touch it and go. I'm really wanting to just erase the excess. I don't want to take out a whole lot of the pink. I want to leave some color. If now these are not, to me, as dark, but if something, I do have a couple of places here that I feel like are a little more red, Y1 is not going to have enough power in it to subtract it. So we need a little orange with that, and that's when I'll switch to, like, this is a little more excess than anything else. And do you see how that yellow is just not taking it? So I need the Y01. This has got some orange in it. It's an orange with a little yellow in it. And do you see how that takes care of it? And that's because it has a little more depth in it. So it needs, that means it has blue in it. So we need a little bit of orange to take out that depth. And I still have a little red line here where the little puppy, my daughter's new little puppy, got me. It's almost healed. But I'm telling you what, Tretinoin, if you use Tretinoin or Retin-A, it is so good for quick healing. Not for bumps, scratches, a boo-boo, whatever you get. Okay, now, do you see how it's just softer? Now I do have like areas like this. This is like dull brown, that kind of thing. Oh, here, we got this over here. I got bit by a mosquito working in the yard, and see how that was a lot more red? I used the Y01 for that. And you just take a little brush and see this little age spot here. She is a lot smarter than she used to be, but she's still lingering. She's still lingering. And underneath the eyes, I didn't even address. There's just a couple. See this one right here? It's just a little more shadowed. But when I really look in there, it's just a touch of depth of color, a little shadowed. So I'm going to use the Y01 but right next to it is a freckle, so it's going to need something else. So anything that looks like a freckle, see that's kind of pink. It's kind of like you memorize where all your little friends are. Okay, now I'm going to clean off my brush on a cleaning towel. One last thing I'm going to do is a red one. I don't have red one in this palette. I have it in this one. I just want a little bit of pink to subtract a little bit of dull brown. So in my cheeks right here, some little, oops, I got too much. That's a dull brown little freckle. See how that's soft? Okay, right here, right next to where I was a second ago. That is little depth of pigmentation. And that red one, you gotta be careful with red one because it's gonna subtract. Because red is the opposite of green. Pigment is green. I mean, just even look at Cowboy. It's got that green in it. So red one is gonna subtract all of the evidence of that green. So we don't wanna create a light spot. So I am just, girl, that just, And in my cheek right here, see, there's just a couple little brown patches, and on top of my lip, okay, right here. I thought I had the wrong palette. I typically don't have two palettes, but I like these hard plastic ones, and I don't really like to mix my powders and have them in the same one as, so there's some brown freckles right in there, just kind of dull. So you have something kind of dull, shadowy, dirty looking. Most likely it's a little bit of pigment. See, I keep missing this. Okay, there I go. I think I'm done. This little brown, and there's a little red spot. Now I'm being picky. Silly. Just silly. I shouldn't worry all of that. Okay, now lip color is going to be super easy. Okay, there was a couple of things I really wanted to do. Okay, cherry. I think it's cherry that I want to do. This is a lip tint. It's very pink. So what I want to do is take a little brush. Let me get one here. I'm going to take this. This is the blur brush. I'm going to take Days. Is this Days? No, this is Ladybug. Ladybug. And it's going to do a little bit of tinting itself, but I am going to the inner part of the lip. See, you're drooling. Why are you drooling, honey? Okay, see, this is really, I would have to clean my brush. And this is Cherry Lip Tint. And I'm going to go around the perimeter with Cherry Lip Tint. And like I said before, I want everything kind of neutral. And then lip color. Not going to the outer corners, but coming down like that. Okay, love this. Now let's do a little mascara. I'm going to do soft, just a little bit of mascara. So I am going to, where's my, there she is, Lash Silk. This is from Seint, and I love this brush. And I just want a little bit of color on the lashes. I'm not looking to like add a lot of length or anything. I just really want color on the lashes. And I'm only going to do the top. Some color on them. Wiggle, give a little wiggle. That's what I like about the short side, that it really gets in there and some in my hair. I don't know about you, but I always, this side, they want to be all jacked up and moving in different directions, I guess, because the sleeping side. Okay, that's exactly what I want. All done. And it literally feels like I'm not wearing anything, and that was the goal. And I wanted it to look as if I'm going to shift it this way because the sun is changing directions. And I wanted to look as if I'm not wearing makeup, but I want to look tone and balance with some lip color. All right, all done. All right, guys, if you want to grab any of these and any of the products I use from Seint, everything I use from brushes to mascara, all the products that I use, the Plush Prep Mist, can't live home without that one, you can get at outthegobble.com. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments, share the video. Thank you for watching. Hope y'all have a great evening.